Now on Nightside, Spokane City Council has approved a $500,000 settlement to a woman whose fiance was shot by police. What happened the day he was killed?
We are finally getting a break from the rain and snow, but for how long? I'm tracking the next round of wet weather in the first alert forecast.
Plus, why the roads outside of Stevens Elementary in the Chief Gary Park neighborhood are about to get a whole lot safer. You're watching 4 News Now, Nightside. Well, tonight, Spokane City Council approved a $500,000 settlement to a woman whose fiance was shot by police in 2022. Thanks for staying up with Nightside. I'm Kirsten O'Connor. In September of 2022, Spokane police went to the home of 41-year-old Robert Bradley to serve an order for him to surrender his firearms, as well as an order of protection to stay away from a neighbor when they say Bradley pulled a gun on them. Investigators found that one of the bullets fired by Spokane police went directly into the barrel, which they said proved he was pointing a gun at officers. Bradley's fiancée, Sarah McLaughlin, claimed the officers shot Bradley within 3 seconds of announcing their presence. She has been awarded $500,000. The Spokane City Council also approved a nearly $1 million construction contract tonight. This is what traffic looks like outside of Stevens Elementary in the Chief Gary Park neighborhood. Kids crossing the busy roads nearly every day, hoping drivers are paying attention. That contract will fund new and improved crosswalks around the school. The most visible change will be at the intersection of Mission and Magnolia, where crews would put in a new enhanced crosswalk with flashing lights.
So it's important that, we do what we can to make sure that we have people out, we have the necessary improvements along the street and on the sidewalks to make sure that kids are getting to school, as safely as they can.
Construction on this project is set to get underway later this year. And Chief Meteorologist Chris Crocker is here. Chris, it sounds like more fog to start.
Yes, more fog. We've had 16 straight days of measurable rain and snow, and we're drawing out in terms of precipitation, but that fog is going to make for a gray and damp Tuesday. Here's our forecast for fog going through the early morning, 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. Now, the densest fog will be from Spokane's West Plains through the Columbia Basin into the Waterville Plateau. So travel along Highway 2 will be especially tricky in terms of fog. Otherwise, it's going to be a little bit more patchy around the Spokane and Coeur d'Alene area. The West Plains, an obvious spot where you're going to see that fog, and areas of freezing fog, a possibility as well, as temperatures will be dropping down below freezing if they haven't already where you live. We'll be in the 20s over much of the Spokane and Coeur d'Alene area. Elsewhere around the region, 20s in Ritzville and Sandpoint, as well as Bonners Ferry, 13 in Winthrop, 34 tomorrow morning in Lewiston, and 25 in Kellogg. Your planner for tomorrow: foggy conditions in the morning. I don't think we're going to see much sunshine, but you may get a hint or two right about the time kids are getting out of school. That high of 33 is exactly average. I'll be back with the next system we're tracking ahead that's coming in before the weekend. I'll let you know what to expect in just a few minutes, Kirsten.
All right, we'll see you then, Chris. Well, a man was shot and killed in Spokane Valley this afternoon. Law enforcement is still searching for the shooter. It happened here just a few blocks south of Sprague on 4th Avenue. That's where law enforcement blocked traffic for hours, affecting the block between University and Raymond. Spokane Valley deputies and major crimes were investigating this crime scene, and a parking lot was even blocked off with caution tape just across the street from the STA Park and Ride. Deputies are working with STA to see if their surveillance cameras were able to capture any of the encounter. Less than an hour after the shooting was reported, Spokane Valley deputies detained 2 suspects they believed could be related to the shooting. As of now, no charges have been filed, and it's all under investigation. Spokane is discussing 2 proposed ordinances that the mayor says will help lower the overdose deaths in Spokane, a number that has been rising in the past years. The first ordinance will prevent single-serve alcohol sales downtown between midnight and 2 a.m. The second ordinance will require all stores selling drug paraphernalia to also give out Narcan for free.
The vast majority of what we're seeing on the street is more fentanyl related than it is alcohol related. But I do think that we are seeing a lot of folks who are using both.
The Spokane Police Department says that within the last 3 years, more than 30% of all alcohol-related incidents took place downtown between midnight and 2 in the morning. The city also says off-premises alcohol stores downtown are places with high drug activity. One study even shows each off-premises alcohol store is associated with over a 16% increase in neighborhood overdose rates. Well, it is a hefty price to pay right now if you're looking to purchase eggs. Because of the bird flu, prices of eggs have increased dramatically, while the supply of both eggs and chicken have gone down. The manager at Trent Harvest Foods in Spokane Valley says their egg supply has been running low in their dozen of Eggland's best large eggs because of pricing. Today, they were $4.39 a dozen, a bargain compared to the Cherry Lane brand of large eggs, which were priced at $8.99. And because of the bird flu, the manager said the prices of the Cherry Lane eggs have increased over the past few months. She also says they haven't been selling them as much as they used to, and she believes her customers are going elsewhere because of costs. As for the chicken, the meat manager said supply has not yet been affected, but prices have.
Well, it just seems that poultry isn't on sale as much as it used to be. I have one thing on sale right now, and that's boneless, skinless thighs. I usually have 3 or 4 different things on sale.
A local nonprofit that supports independently owned grocery stores within the state advises consumers to only purchase what we need while farmers currently work to get the supply back up. The first American with a severe case of bird flu has died. The Louisiana Department of Health confirmed the death today. Authorities say the patient was over 65 years old and reportedly had underlying medical conditions. The individual was hospitalized with the flu after an exposure to a flock of birds. Officials say no other person linked to the patient has become sick. So far, several dozen Americans have contracted the virus. Well, a federal judge ruled Washington State University had the right to fire a former football coach for his refusal to get the COVID-19 vaccine. WSU fired Nick Rolovich in October of 2021. Rolovich then sued the university and the state, saying he should have been allowed to skip the vaccine for religious reasons. But the judge said he didn't have enough to prove how legitimate his perceived exemption was. The judge also ruled because of his role, not being vaccinated would cause undue hardship to the university. You can read all of Judge Thomas Rice's ruling right now on our website, KXLY.com.
Since the Seattle Kraken pushed above 500 at 15-14-2 on December 12th, boy, that has slid further and further down for these Kraken, 2-6-1 since, but they have a chance to break that streak with the last of 4 straight at home tonight up against New Jersey. 1-1 game in Seattle right at the end of the second period. Inside a minute, Devils into the O-zone. Paul Cotter cutting inside. He earns the leading score. New Jersey in front. Same score now in the third period. Kraken threatening. Puck redirected. Shane Wright, he scores. 2-all game on the power play. But not even a minute later, we're still 18 minutes to play in the game. Jack Hughes finds Andrej Palat. That's another Devil lead. All this action, we haven't even been through 5 minutes of game time yet. Puck in and around by goal, and there's Eli Toivonen, who can't get the finish. What a remarkable save by Jacob Markstrom. His 21 saves tonight, helping the Devils win the Cryptid Cup with his 20th win of the season, second most in the NHL. Kraken now have a losing record at home, and they won't have a chance anytime soon to fix that. Now a 5-game road stretch coming up. That's all for First Sports, though. Catch us later in the show for more on Gonzaga women's basketball, earning weekly awards, plus some schedule drops for EWU football.
All right, Jack, we'll see you then. Today, Idaho Governor Brad Little delivered his annual State of the State address, what he says is next for the state of Idaho. And a growing number of people report feeling trapped in their jobs. We'll have some tips for anyone trying to make a change.
Beautiful pick of the night tonight from the Vista House on top of Mount Spokane. Amy Knapp took this image on Saturday. She managed to find a spot without the fog, and oh my gosh, what a wonderful spot. Go in there, have a little hot chocolate, maybe a beer. Thank you, Amy. I'll be back with your forecast.
Download the KXLY Plus app on your connected TV.
4 News Now is brought to you by the Spokane Boat Show.
If you like options, you'll love my $5 all-day big deal meal. Choose from 4 delicious entrees and 5 tasty sides with a drink. Oh, and nobody else includes breakfast items all day. Just this guy. At Jack, every bite's a big deal.
Welcome to Jack in the Box.
With prices of natural gas and propane skyrocketing, your heating bill is getting out of control. But before you turn down the heat, give the experts at Bill's Heating and Air a call. They have the latest in dual fuel technology to keep your family comfortable and the utility bills low. There has never been a better time to upgrade because now every furnace purchase comes with a free heat pump. So call Bill's Heating today to get your free heat pump while supplies last.
Not again, Mom.
Looks like this will be your last year with season tickets, huh? Oh, let's iron out this big mess. Yeah.
I'm calling the swap team.
Wait.
At Craig Swap & Associates, we want to make sure that you're really winning. We get you compensated, and we don't receive a penny until you get paid.
One call, that's all. 509-999-9999.
If you're looking for an everyday truck like the Tacoma,
or something a bit bigger, like the Tundra, Colville Toyota has the truck to meet your needs.
both the Tundra and Tacoma are built to last and provide unbeatable performance in their class.
Loaded with the latest tech, with adaptive cruise control and forward collision warning, these trucks are designed to get you safely to your destination.
Come test drive a Tacoma and Tundra today at Colville Toyota, your small town dealership with a big heart.
There are no bad decisions when it comes to my new chicken fajita and Caesar Jack Wraps. 2 new flavors for $3 each. Unless you don't get one. That would be a bad decision. Get my Jack Wraps or try my Tasty Munchies under $4. At Jack, every bite's a big deal.
Welcome to Jack in the Box.
4 News Now is brought to you by Super One Foods.
Well, remember this week you can put any of your yard or food waste out on the curb in Spokane. The city has brought back the green bin pickup once a month during the winter months. Also this week, it is your last chance to put your fresh Christmas tree out on the curb to be picked up. And speaking of trying to get rid of your Christmas tree, how about throwing it away literally? That's what people at this quirky annual post-holidays event in Germany are doing.
Oh my goodness.
That's strong. This is a competition focused on 3 disciplines: distance, height, and slinging. Oh, that looks like a shot put.
We need to do that
I know.
here.
We should probably get Derek involved in this.
Oh my gosh, all the forestry majors down at UI that did like lumber sports, I feel like they could throw a tree.
I agree. Okay, so it's derived from a Scandinavian tradition, and I don't know if I'm going to pronounce it right. Do you think
Good luck.
Oh, it is. Okay, my producer says it is not fest. I thought it was going to be newt, but it's not. There you go.
Fest.
In case you were curious.
Yes, and we're going to bring that here. I don't know who I have to talk to, but that looks like a blast.
I think people in Spokane would get involved.
I think they would get behind that.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
Some competitive folks.
Well, we've got some pretty quiet weather, so perhaps time to think about organizing Nutfest. Low clouds and fog for the next couple of days. Occasional sun breaks if we're lucky. Wednesday, there is a slight chance of some drizzle or flurries. I'll show you that in a moment. And then a rain-snow mix possible on Friday. It is not going to amount to much, but it's all we've got going right now because high pressure is in control. It's sending the storms to the north. They're weakening, they're shearing. Wednesday morning, here's 4 a.m. There is the possibility of a little disturbance stirring up a few flurries or some drizzle. That will be gone very quickly with high pressure reasserting itself for the entire day on Thursday. Then Friday, this next system moves in, bringing a mix of rain and snow based on the timing, 10 a.m. may start off as a little bit of snow, then turn to a rain-snow mix or non-accumulating snow as we get later in the day. Our temperatures, meanwhile, it has been a very warm winter so far. And so this actually represents some of the coldest weather that we've seen, which is unbelievable. This white line right here is our average high. We'll be right around average through the weekend and then start to trend cooler, 31 on Monday. And our trend in the 8 to 14 day forecast is calling for below average temperatures as well. Meanwhile, highs tomorrow will be above freezing in most locations. An exception will be Spirit Lake. We'll be in the mid 30s through the I-90 corridor, 33 over at the airport in Spokane and Airway Heights, 34 in Meade, 33 in Deer Park. Around the region, 40s in Lewiston, but 30s most of the rest of the region, all of the rest of the region. Your planning forecast, high temperatures stay in the mid 30s through Saturday, then we cool down. The only chance of measurable precipitation is Friday. Again, we may have a little bit of drizzle Wednesday morning. And I think this is fascinating. Our average overnight low is down in the mid 20s, but 22 on Sunday would be the coldest low so far this season. Our coldest low officially at the airport in Spokane has been 24 so far. Here we are, really past what is climatologically the coldest time of the year, or almost. We're at the very tail end, and we haven't even dropped into the lower 20s, much less the teens, single digits, or below zero. I don't know if that means there's something waiting for us, or if we're just gonna make it through this winter without barely, having to break out the heavy coats.
I know. I keep thinking back to a couple of years ago when our Christmas time was in the single digits, and it was so cold.
Last year we were in the double digits below zero in January.
Yeah.
So this is a little weird.
It's unusual.
Yes, it certainly is.
Yeah, we're gonna see what is to come, right?
Yes.
We'll hold our breath. All right, thank you, Chris. Well, today, Idaho Governor Brad Little delivered his annual State of the State address. He highlighted the improvements made to Idaho public schools over the last 5 years, but says more needs to be done.
I look forward to working with the legislature to address gaps in rural school facilities, mental health, school safety, and literacy.
This is just one part of Brad Little's Keeping Promises plan. The plan would also increase funding to help attract and retain crews of first responders who help battle wildfires. Well, as people refresh, reset, and reprioritize for the new year, some may be looking to make big changes at work. A growing number of people report feeling trapped in their jobs. Some are happy with the work, but not with the pay. Others are looking for more work-life balance, but with the cooling job market and economic uncertainty, making a change may be rather daunting. CNN's Brian Abel has some tips if you're hoping the new year will bring a new job.
Many workers across the country are feeling a little stuck.
Employees are feeling overworked, undervalued, underpaid.
According to Gallup polling released in December, people are looking for new jobs at the highest rates in nearly a decade. But in a cooling labor market, along with a low unemployment rate, there's fear those opportunities may not be there.
The time between jobs for people to find a job after they lose a job is pretty high. It's 23.7 weeks on average. And that's a pretty scary number.
Gallup refers to this shift as the Great Detachment, and it's causing frustration for employers too.
18% of people in their latest report are actually engaged at work. So that means you've got 82% of your people as an employer who are saying, not feeling it.
If you're not feeling it and ready to make a move, you can simply start by talking to the people you know.
Reach out to that network to identify people that they know who would be in a position to give advice, to make introductions.
And don't rely on one-click job applications with the same resume each time to land you that dream position.
Tailor the resume that you're sending in so that it uses the keywords that are in the job description.
In Washington, Brian Abel reporting.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
Surf and turf. Surf and turf. Low and slow and roasty beef. 2 of those things for $6.99. Arby's, we have the meat.
92.9 CCU.
I'm Chad Young from the EasyHomebuyer.com, Spokane and Coeur d'Alene's easiest way to sell your house fast. If you have a few moments, I hope you'll give me the opportunity to make you an instant cash offer on your home. With the EasyHomebuyer.com, we will buy your house in as-is condition with no repairs, no closing costs, and no commissions. To get your no-obligation cash offer, give us a call or visit us online at theeasyhomebuyer.com.
Pick up the phone to inquire. Call the Easy Home Buyer.
Donating your vehicle to UGM Motors is easy.
When you drop off a vehicle, you have to sign a paper of, I donated this vehicle. And that was the hardest part. And I didn't have to fill it out. They filled it out for me and had me sign it.
Your car, truck, RV, or motorcycle will provide food, shelter, job training, and recovery services at Union Gospel Mission.
I think it's a great service to the community.
Call 509-327-HELP to schedule a free pickup today.
Watch KXLY Plus over the air on KXLY ABC4. Live updates, breaking news, weather every 10 minutes from the 4 News Now team. Get up to date on the information you need in just an hour. Weekdays at 11 a.m. and 4 p.m. over the air on KXLY ABC4.
Surf and turf. 2 sandwiches. The sea giveth crispy fish. For $6.99. Arby's, we have the meat.
4 News Now is brought to you by Mother's Cupboard.
Welcome back. Check your medicine cabinet for this consumer alert. Costco is recalling some of its Kirkland cold and flu medication because some of the packages could be contaminated with foreign material. A specific lot of the medication had been rejected because of this and was not supposed to be shipped, but it was sold nationally between October 30th and November 30th of last year. Costco says you can return the packages for a full refund. A new study found sugary drinks are contributing to a global public health crisis. It estimates sugary drinks could be factors in 330,000 deaths annually from diabetes and cardiovascular disease. Researchers analyzed data on sugar-sweetened beverages consumed in 184 countries. They examined demographics of those most affected and found the problem is serious in Latin America and the Caribbean. While alternative sweeteners might be better, they aren't the answer. Health experts say hydration is important for managing blood pressure, blood sugar, internal temperature, and digestion. Well, being exposed to high levels of fluoride could impact intelligence. According to a new government survey, fluoride levels in children's urine were measured and their IQ scores dropped as fluoride levels rose. Fluoride is a mineral found in rock, soil, and water, and it helps protect tooth enamel, which is why many cities have added it to treated drinking water for decades. Gonzaga women's hoops earning some conference accolades. Sports director Jack Wallace has the details coming up after the break.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
4 News Now is brought to you by Summit Cancer Center.
Friday 2020 is all new.
A beloved father who went missing and evidently told his best friends not to come looking for him.
My family and I are begging you, asking for your assistance.
This is the strangest case I've ever seen.
Now, follow the clues to solve a deadly, mysterious true crime.
Let's just say the phrase, "over my dead body," takes on a new meaning.
And just when you think you know where the story is headed, things take a turn.
The new 2020 Friday night on ABC.
Owning a food truck was my dream, but my back and leg pain made every day a struggle. Then my personalized arch support system from the Good Feed store got me back in the picture.
Clinically proven to provide significant pain relief in only 4 weeks.
I'm back to being the best version of myself.
Get back in the picture. The Good Feet store. Book your free fitting at goodfeet.com.
Okay, ideas. Where are we going?
I got one.
What about a comedy show?
I've seen you. I've swiped on you. No. Okay?
Oh, I got an idea.
I feel hungry.
Let's go.
Whatever your vibe,
Tacos.
Definitely tacos.
find it in the all-hybrid Camry. Toyota, let's go places.
When you need inspiration, it's worth shopping Fred Meyer. For thousands of appetizing ingredients that inspire countless mouth-watering meals. And low prices that add up to big savings, like over $600 in digital coupons each week, and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. So you can get big flavors and big savings. Fred Meyer, fresh for everyone.
For the first time in her career, Mott Hybens of the Gonzaga Bulldogs women's basketball team earned the WCC Player of the Week award for her monumental efforts in the Zags' 2-0 week. Hybens averaged 21 points and 11 rebounds per game. She earned a pair of double-doubles in as many games played, shooting an incredible 73% from the field. Shooting also a picture-perfect 6 for 6 in the first half against Portland earlier in the week. And you're watching now 6 for 7 in the second half against Santa Clara later on. Zags are 4-2 in conference and 3-0 in their last 3 and are off this Thursday prepping for a game at Washington State. That's this Saturday at noon. Idaho Vandals continue to build their new coaching staff under head coach Thomas Ford. Sheldon Cross arrives in Moscow as the new tight ends coach and recruiting coordinator. Cross was last the offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach at the FCS Stetson Hatters. They led the non-scholarship Pioneer League in passing yards and yards per game, yet had 6 different QBs take snaps in those 11 games played. Cross played high school ball at Stadium High School in Tacoma, so he's a local too. This was not the dream season for Eastern Washington football, to be frank. They finished 4-8, 6th in the Big Sky, but now they can focus up to the 2025 season with their non-conference slate finalized. EWU faces Incarnate Word, Boise State, Northern Iowa, and Western Illinois, all but WIU on the road. Incarnate Word was the first team in Southland Conference history to finish unbeaten in conference play. They lost in the FCS quarters to Jimmy Rogers, South Dakota State. Boise State just finished a fantastic season, winning the Mountain West. They advanced to the college football playoffs, but lost in the quarters to Penn State. Northern Iowa and Eastern last met in the 2021 FCS playoffs at Eagle home win, and that was the same result as their last game against WIU, also in 2021. So now we can take a look at the full 2025 schedule plus the next couple of years. Eagles host Northern Iowa in 2026, plus a trip to South Dakota and Washington. In 2027, featuring a road trek to the Oregon Ducks and hosting South Dakota and Incarnate Word. The Eagles also play at Montana State, Portland State, Idaho at Weber State, Sacramento State at Montana, Northern Colorado, and at Cal Poly this year in conference play. The 2025 season kicking off this August. Now, speaking of the Big Sky Conference, they inked a new deal today with ESPN, extending their current contract 5 years. But this one a little different. They're going to double the conference's TV coverage for football, ensuring that a minimum of 4 regular season games will air, 2 of those 4 on major networks like ESPN or ESPN2. For basketball, the deal includes 1 men's regular season conference game and 3 tournament games, plus 1 women's conference tournament game. At least one of the men's semifinals will air nationally. Championship game will air on either ESPN or ESPN2. Women's title game will remain airing on ESPNU. All Big Sky Conference games for football, men's and women's basketball will air on ESPN platforms, including all home and conference games for soccer, volleyball, and softball. This deal begins in the 2025-26 academic year and ends after the 29-30 year. Montana State dominated the Big Sky this season, beating both Eastern and Idaho twice, including in the playoffs, to make the FCS National Championship game at a perfect 15-0. But the North Dakota State Bison, for the 10th time, win the FCS title. And just like their last championship hoisted in January 2022, they defeat the Bobcats in Frisco. NDSU won 35-32 after almost squandering a 21-3 halftime. We're seeing Montana State come back. They brought the game to a 3-point difference 3 times, but never led. Bison quarterback Cam Miller, man, did he put together a masterclass for his final game. 19 for 22, 200 yards and 2 passing touchdowns, plus 18 carries for 121 yards and 2 scores. Bryce Lance, the younger brother of top NFL pick Trey Lance, caught 9 passes, 108 yards and a score. And legendary Montana State quarterback Tommy Mellott finished with 195 passing yards and 2 touchdowns, plus 135 yards on the ground and another score. Some major news earlier this afternoon out of Seattle. The Seahawks firing offensive coordinator Ryan Grubb after just 1 season. Seattle ranked in the bottom half or even bottom few teams in most major rushing stats, including 28th in total rushing yards, while having 2 high-graded running backs in Kenneth Walker and Zach Charbonnet. Seahawks passed the ball over 62% of the time, which is the 5th highest rate in the whole league, which is especially interesting as head coach Mike Macdonald came to the Northwest from Baltimore, a team this season passed the ball at the 2nd lowest rate in the league. Quarterback Geno Smith flourished with the offense, setting personal best in his passing yards, completions, completion percentage, attempts, everything, and he defended Grubb in yesterday's press conference. Macdonald did not get into any specifics on the decision, and the search for a new OC is on. So far, Seattle had to have had a pretty good season despite no playoffs. 10 wins is their most without a playoff bid since the 1986 season, which has to sting a little bit. But you got to be hopeful for next year.
Yeah. Next year will come. And, you know, Super Bowl's on its way. I'm already starting to hear from some of the people. We have Steelers fans in this newsroom. We have Vikings fans. We have Lions.
Falcons fans will be watching from the couch.
Yeah. So we got a lot of people in here. We'll let you know how things are going as we get closer. We'll be right back after the break.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app. At 4 News Now, we believe you should expect more from local news. Our team is committed to a community conversation and bringing you information you need when and where you need it. Numerica believes in and supports that mission.
Are you a pour-over purist? At Numerica, you'll find money answers for you and only you. Learn more at numericacu.com.
Hi, I'm Ken.
And I'm Donnie.
We lead the Advocates.
The Advocates fight for each of our injured clients. We take on big insurance and get big results.
We're both advocates, but we're very different from each other.
That's true.
I say potato, she says...
Potato.
Oh, I guess we're the same there.
Potato. Do people say that a different way?
Potato.
Who says it that way?
Never mind. Injured, you deserve an advocate.
No matter how he got here, how alone she feels, how they've struggled to support their best friend. What's important is this moment, when they reached out and said, I can't do this alone. And we said, that's okay. We'll figure it out together. If you or a loved one needs support, our trained counselors can help you too. 988, anywhere, anytime.
There's 2 kinds of people. Those who wait for the storm to pass, and those who drive a Ford Bronco Sport SUV. You'll feel confident driving J.D. Power's #1 small SUV for new vehicle quality. Off the pavement, go over any type of terrain with one of the 5 standard GOAT modes. And with 4x4 capability standard on all models, almost nothing gets in your way. When you drive a Ford Bronco Sport in weather like this, you don't just get through it, you embrace it.
See breaking news in your area or have a story idea? Contact 4 News Now.
And your planning forecast, pretty quiet weather for the next couple of days. Low clouds, fog. You may encounter a little freezing drizzle once in a while. And then our next chance of wet weather, and it's not a slam dunk, is Friday. This is the latest we've ever not had an overnight low below 24 degrees ever.
Yeah. When we were talking about that earlier, it really stuck with me. This has been a mild winter, my friend.
It's okay.
Just wait.
No, it's no problem.
He spent time in Fargo.
That's true.
We can't compete with that.
That's true.
I'll take it.